huge thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video. This is not Ana Luisa's first time sponsoring a video on our channel, but normally I tell you about all of their beautiful pieces that are perfect for everyday wear or special events. Today, I want to talk about how Ana Luisa jewelry makes me feel. Starting off, the box that the things are delivered in. I mean, you open this box and inside this month it just says, "You look so good." I just love that. Like, just even opening the box, I'm already feeling good. Like, I'm excited for my jewelry that's gonna make me feel pretty. But then also this compliment, like, there is just something about this brand and the way that it makes me feel that makes me just want to continue sharing the love and sharing the happy feelings. I love that their pieces, are sustainable and climate neutral. I've been working with them now for over 3 years and I've never ever had a piece of jewelry break or tarnish or anything. They're still as good today as they were the day that I got them. Not only that, but I want to show you this. So I mentioned before that I was in this movie called Bouillon, and I got to choose my clothes for this film scene. Look in this screenshot. You can see I am literally wearing Ana Luisa jewelry. I did not have to wear it. This was not a sponsored thing. This movie was not sponsored by Ana Luisa. I just genuinely love my pieces so much that I really wear them every single day. So if you're looking for a treat for yourself or for someone in your life, make sure you check out Ana Luisa's website. And if you use my code, you'll get an extra 10% off. Check the link in the description box below or in the pinned comment, because when you support our sponsors, you are supporting our channel. So thank you once again to Ana Luisa, and now on to today's video. Hi, welcome to Jovie's home. Or I should say, Jovie's garden. Today we are going to film outside. Today we are going to do another kind of fun video. It is summertime, it is light time. So I thought it would be really fun to talk about 5 things that Dutch people like to complain about that I secretly enjoy. So if you want to find out what that is, then why don't you come on in, kick off your shoes and stay a while. I'm really glad you're here. All right, we're gonna start with a controversial topic, okay? Dutch people like to complain about getting paracetamol when they go to the doctor. I was one of those people that used to complain, and I mean, for some things, I do think that it's a valid concern, but I have grown to really love paracetamol. I really find it valuable how the Dutch medical system is now how they view medicine and medical interventions, and they give your body a chance to try to sort itself out before they prescribe medications. Now, not for everything, okay? I think that it can be a little bit extreme sometimes. I do think that, for little kids and things after surgery, they should give them some more serious painkillers. There are definitely exceptions, but used to complain about like, oh, why do I even need to go to the doctor? They're just going to tell me to take paracetamol and get better on my own. And that's true for a lot of things. But now I really value the fact that I'm not developing an antibiotic resistance, especially now as we keep hearing about more and more nasty stuff like if infecting humans and stuff. So I really appreciate the fact that I haven't taken antibiotics in forever, and that when I do take them, it's really, really necessary, and not just taking them to make myself feel better. Not actually physically feel better, but just like, oh yeah, I'm sick, so I'm going to take a pill and I'm going to feel better about it. And I say paracetamol, but I'm just using it as a general illustration for the kind of laissez-faire or like hands-off approach to medical care. Number 2, paying taxes. Okay. So, well, I don't know that's not just Dutch people complaining. I think in general people like to complain about paying taxes. But I am in love with paying taxes here, okay? So I really, really appreciate how I can see where my tax money is going. And I'm curious, if you're a Dutch person who travels and you go out of your country, do you notice things in other countries that are not happening here that make you then appreciate it? Like, for example, whenever I travel outside the Netherlands, I notice that other countries, they just have like more trash everywhere, or they look dirtier, and I don't see that here. I feel like the Netherlands looks and is so much more clean, and I know that that's our taxes that are paying for that, you know, enabling things to be clean. Or whenever I go to another country with my kids and we go play in a playground, like in a park, I see a lot of like, you know, wooden swings where the wood is splintering, or if it's metal playground equipment where the metal is rusty. And I don't see that here. I mean, not everything is super fancy. Things can be quite basic, but they're in pretty decent and good condition. And I know that that's another place where our tax money is being spent. There are places in Europe, when you travel there, you can't drink the tap water. Not just in Europe, but in general, you can't drink tap water. And here we can. So there's just like so many places that I can see our tax money being spent. And for that reason, I don't mind paying. Yes, it's high. Okay, yes, it's a lot. Sure. But I'd rather pay a lot and see where it goes and feel like it's taken care of. It's coming back to us, like as a society and as a community. It's coming back here. It's not that we pay less taxes and then what? Where's that money? There's no social programs. There's no government help. No, here we pay it. The money comes back into the communities and into the system, and it's for all of our benefit. Not necessarily directly, but there are definitely indirect benefits. What do you think? Would you agree with that? Have you noticed that? Tell me, if you've traveled outside, do you notice these things? Do you see that? What I see or not? I'm really curious. Moving along, let's talk about bureaucracy. So people like to complain about all kinds of things, you know, we have to go to the gemeente to do this, or we have to go and do that, or the processes for certain things that are just like, I don't know, just, annoying. We don't like them. When I didn't know it, when I was an outsider, when I was really unfamiliar and brand new to this country, there was lots of things that bothered me about the bureaucracy. And part of it was the fact that I didn't know how it works. I didn't know how things, you know, you go to the gemeente for this, that, and the other thing, or you go to this other place for this kind of thing, or I don't know, let's talk about the bureaucracy of the healthcare. So like having to go first to your house arts to get a referral, then having to go then to the hospital or like to the specialist and like wait for like months, or have to wait for your letter to like your appointment letter to arrive by mail. That was weird. So there was lots of these like bureaucratic things that I didn't like and that people don't like and that I hear people complain about too. However, once you figure them out, once you've actually gone through the process and figured it out, I feel like things are so organized and it actually makes it really easy. So when I moved in the United States, one of the things that we have to do is just like you have to on your own send an email or whatever, like change your address with all of your suppliers. You have to change your address with everyone, with absolutely everyone. But here, because we just register ourselves in the gemeente, then suddenly things are just automatically updated to your new address. Specifically, let's talk about the health insurance. So I didn't have to necessarily notify my health insurance company that I had moved because that was just updated in the gemeente. And I think that's really easy and it's actually quite user-friendly. So yes, the bureaucracy can be annoying. Bureaucracy is annoying everywhere. But I've never been asked to slide some money across the table to get something done. I've never been in a situation where once I got to the correct spot, they couldn't help me. So I really, really appreciate the organization and the way that things just work. Granted, it's kind of difficult, or it can be difficult to figure out how to get to that point, but once you do, I really, truly value it. Politics. No. So when I talk about politics, like everybody likes to complain about politics, right? And the political system and things like that. But as an outsider, or maybe not so much an outsider anymore, but somebody who can compare, I have really, really come to appreciate the Dutch parliamentary system, the multi-party system. I really, really, truly appreciate and value that our human rights are not being stripped away by our governments the way that they are in other country that I'm comparing to. And I like that the power is decentralized in the sense that you have so many different political parties to choose from. It feels like I have more freedom of choice here. It feels like if one party does some really terrible stuff, yeah, they're going to get kicked out. But then there are still so many other parties that work for the people, for the benefit of all of us, for our collective good, as opposed to a two-party system where they're just fighting against each other, and I don't even think that they think about the people at all anymore. It's just about, are the Democrats or the Republicans going to win? And it's about winning, and it's not about people. So we might complain about Dutch politics a lot, but I really appreciate it. All right, this next one is one I'm not really sure if Dutchies complain about it too much, but certainly maybe you do. I don't know. This one's a wild card. Okay, we're putting in a wild card. And that is the centralized storage of all of our data. And specifically using things like DigiD. If you don't live in the Netherlands or you don't know, we each have like an app on our phones you can have that is called your DigiD, and using that app enables you to log into all of the municipal and government systems, like paying your taxes, I don't know, registering your car, doing stuff with your healthcare, and all of that is accessible using this like PIN code DigiD app. And while of course some people would have privacy concerns or be worried about that, my God, I love it. I love it. I love that all of my data is like centrally stored. The government knows it all. Anything that I need, they already have it ready. Here's the story. So my husband's car died this summer. It was if you follow me on Instagram, you know, it was like one of these crazy moments. And instead of fixing it, because fixing the car was going to be about the same as the actual value of the car. So we just thought, no, let's get rid of this one and we buy a new one. But I didn't have like the paperwork, the registration. Our car was from 2011 and God knows where it is. The RDW paperwork, the codes, the Temmen, Stellingen, Tenten, Tamen, Tenten, Stelling, whatever it's called, the car registration papers that prove that we are the owners of that car. So when we were trying to give it to the car dealership, they needed those papers, and I was like, I don't know where it is, dude, I don't know. And he was like, okay, you can just log into the RDW website with your DigiD. Did that, boom, all the registrations of all the cars are there. You can click order a new one. Within a few days it's here. Like, it's so easy. Paying taxes, when you're going into the Belastingdienst website, when it's your annual tax return, you just log in, all your stuff is there, pre-filled, done. You just check it, send it. I mean, it's unbelievable. It makes it so easy. So yeah, okay, maybe oh, another thing. And I think this one is one where you have to opt in, but they will ask you, like, do you want your medical information, like your medical records, to be accessible by every doctor in this country? And if you say yes, then I'll use an example of a friend of mine. She lives here in The Hague, but her boyfriend does not. And she went to visit him, and she had a medical issue come up, and she needed a prescription for an antibiotic. It was the weekend, there was all this stuff. And she was just like, oh, that's terrible, you know? But because she shares her data, she was actually able to go to a doctor in her boyfriend's city, and they were able to look at her medical records and just, boom, prescribe her the medication. It made it really easy. And I think that's great. I love it. All right, because that last one was like a little bit of a half, we'll call that one 4.5. And then this one will be also a half. So this is the 5th one. 6th one, whatever, who cares? They're numbers. They're more for people to like the title, yeah? But here's one. Now, this one is, I feel like you guys might get a little bit mad at me for this one, but I'm going to say it, I'm going to own it, and it is what it is. I really liked the long lines at Schiphol this summer. Here's why. I'm going to get into it. I'm not just going to make a statement like that and leave you hanging. I'm going to explain it. I really like the long lines at Schiphol because I feel like they had to teach Dutch people how to stand in line. This is something that even after all of these years of living here, I just can't seem to get used to the fact that Dutch people just don't want to stand in line. They, you know, if you are in a shop and they have, let's say, like 4 cash registers, each one of those will have a separate line, despite the fact that they're all kind of like in the same area. So the lines are a little bit confusing. Are you in a line? Are you not in a line? And if somebody from the back of whatever line sees that like someone else is free and they're the first one to see it, they're going to cut in line. They're just like, no, I'm not waiting in line. I thought that casa was free. I'm going to just go there and screw you. Everyone else that's waiting in line, first come, first serve. It's infuriating. But I think that this year, with the whole chaos at Schiphol and all of the massive lines, you did have to wait in lines that were like, you couldn't skip through, you couldn't jump over. And I just think that this was a really good learning opportunity. Okay, guys, this was a little bit, silly, a little bit light. It's the summertime, we're in my garden, we're hanging out. I hope you like this video. It's meant in good spirit and good fun. I don't know why I have to say that in every video. Probably because there's always comments in the videos like, ugh, but this video was all in good fun. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for coming over and spending some time with me. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you also to our wonderful sponsor, Ana Luisa. I am, of course, wearing their jewelry because I love them so very much. So thank you guys so much, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Doei!